The woman I'm looking for but can't find. Elon Musk's candid revelation on love. Before we dive in, drop a comment sharing where you're tuning in from. Maybe you believe that success naturally leads to finding the perfect partner, that having achievements, wealth, and status makes dating effortless. Or perhaps you've never considered that sometimes, the more you accomplish, the tougher it becomes to find someone who loves you for who you truly are, not for what you represent. This message is for you. I want to open up about something deeply personal. Despite having everything society says should make love easy to find, I'm struggling to meet the kind of woman who could genuinely build a meaningful life with me. It's not because such women don't exist, but because my own success has built walls that make authentic connection incredibly challenging. This isn't a complaint or an invitation for sympathy. It's a vulnerable truth that many successful people face but rarely talk about. The very accomplishments meant to enrich life have complicated the most essential part of it, finding true love and partnership. Today, I want to share this struggle because I believe many driven individuals face similar challenges in silence. Understanding these difficulties might shed light on the loneliness and disconnection that success can sometimes bring. The woman I seek is out there, but she's nearly impossible to find because of the unique circumstances my public life and wealth create around dating. I'm searching for someone who wants to build a life together based on shared values, compatible personalities, and mutual respect, not someone drawn to the status, resources, or recognition that come with being linked to me. She must be confident in her own worth and achievements, not needing to prove herself through her partner. She should understand the demands and responsibilities that come with ambitious work and appreciate, rather than resent, the time and energy meaningful projects require. Most importantly, I want someone who desires to truly know me, not the public persona seen in interviews or media, but the real person who wrestles with self-doubt, makes mistakes, and sometimes feels overwhelmed by the gap between public expectation and personal reality. The challenge is that my public profile attracts people interested mainly in lifestyle perks or social status, while simultaneously intimidating or discouraging the kind of woman who would be perfect for me but prefers a simpler, more private life. Often, the women who approach me aggressively see a relationship as a stepping stone for advancement or validation, rather than a genuine emotional bond between two people who enjoy each other's company and share a vision for the future. These connections feel hollow because I sense I'm being valued more as a symbol or resource than as a person with needs, flaws, and a desire for real intimacy. On the other hand, the women who would truly be compatible, accomplished, confident, and focused on their own goals, are often deterred by the public scrutiny, media attention, and social complexities that come with dating someone in my position. They have fulfilling careers and lives that don't require the added complications or validation that come with my world. This creates a painful irony. The very success that should make me more attractive has made me less appealing to the women best suited for the kind of relationship I want. The dating pool splits between those attracted for the wrong reasons and those who avoid me for understandable ones, leaving very few who are both interested in genuine connection and willing to navigate the challenges my life brings. Wealth and fame create artificial dynamics that make it nearly impossible to know if someone's interest is sincere or opportunistic. When someone seems excited to spend time with me, I constantly wonder if they're drawn to my personality or the experiences money can offer. When they praise my work, I question if it's genuine admiration or just what they think I want to hear. This uncertainty builds emotional walls that block the vulnerability and trust essential for intimacy. I protect myself from being used by keeping a distance, but that also keeps out people who might truly care. I recall a dinner with a woman I cared about deeply, intelligent, accomplished, and genuinely interested in me as a person. Yet she said something that stuck with me: "I feel like I'm dating two different men." There's the thoughtful, funny, sometimes uncertain man I see when we're alone, and then there's the public figure everyone else knows. I'm never sure which one I'm supposed to be with. Her words forced me to face how much my public identity overshadowed my true self. Even in intimate moments, I had become so used to projecting confidence that I forgot how to simply be vulnerable and imperfect, the very qualities real intimacy demands. She added, "When we're out, people don't see a couple having dinner. They see you with a woman and wonder who she is and what she wants from you. Sometimes, I even start wondering that about myself." That conversation revealed a harsh truth. Even when I find someone genuinely interested in me, the external pressures of my life create doubts that can erode the connection. Eventually, she ended the relationship, not because she didn't care, but because the public exposure and scrutiny clashed with the private, authentic relationship she wanted. She said something I think about often: "I want to be with someone whose success enhances our relationship, not defines it. But with you, your achievements are so prominent there's no room for us to just be two people enjoying each other's company." This taught me that the challenge isn't just finding someone uninterested in money or status, but finding someone who can accept that my life's realities make a normal relationship nearly impossible. Even the most grounded woman would have to accept constant observation, media analysis, and the risk that her identity might become secondary to her association with me. She'd need to be comfortable with security protocols that complicate spontaneity, travel plans requiring coordination, and social situations where she might feel judged for her suitability rather than simply enjoyed for who she is. Most importantly, she'd have to maintain her own identity and purpose while being with someone whose work and public life demand so much attention. Every serious relationship I've had has faced these challenges. Some partners were intimidated by the attention and pressure, others grew frustrated with the lack of privacy and constant scheduling constraints. Many cared deeply but ultimately chose lifestyles incompatible with mine. I don't blame them. These complications are real and affect every part of daily life in ways outsiders rarely anticipate. Simple things like dinner dates, trips, or social events become logistical and emotional hurdles when security, media, and public scrutiny are involved. But the deeper issue isn't external, it's the internal walls success has built in me. Years of being approached with hidden agendas have made me suspicious of everyone's motives, preventing me from giving potential partners the trust healthy relationships need. I find myself testing people for signs of opportunism instead of simply enjoying their company and letting relationships grow naturally. This hypervigilance shields me from exploitation but also blocks the openness required for true connection. I've become adept at surface charm while guarding my true feelings and vulnerabilities, which means even when I meet someone genuinely interested, I don't let them see the real me. The irony is that in trying to protect myself from the wrong motivations, I've made it nearly impossible for the right ones to flourish. The woman I'm looking for would need patience to help me lower my defenses, confidence to handle my initial suspicion without taking it personally, and genuine interest in who I am beneath the surface. But asking someone to navigate these internal and external challenges is a tall order. Even the perfect match might find it overwhelming. This realization has forced me to confront a painful possibility: the relationship I want may not be compatible with the life I've built. I may have to choose between pursuing ambitious goals and finding a partnership that makes those achievements truly meaningful. The woman I seek likely lives a private life, pursuing her own passions and relationships without the complications my world brings. She's accomplished, confident, and fulfilled on her own terms, a teacher, doctor, artist, or entrepreneur who values genuine connection over status or wealth. She's not someone who frequents the social circles I move in, nor is she impressed by fame or fortune. She's not looking for me any more than I've been able to find her because we exist in different worlds that rarely intersect. This has deepened my understanding of loneliness, not the loneliness of being alone, which I can handle, but the loneliness of being surrounded by people who know only the public version of me, not the real person. Even friends and family begin to act differently, editing themselves around me as if I've become too important or fragile for normal interaction. I miss going through tough times without worrying about how others might interpret my struggles. I miss making mistakes without them becoming public judgments on my character. Most of all, I miss the chance to be loved simply for who I am, without any agenda or expectation beyond basic human connection. The woman I want would see past all these complications to the person underneath. She'd accept that these challenges aren't temporary hurdles but permanent parts of our life together. She'd be strong enough to keep her own identity and goals while being with someone whose public life demands so much. She'd be confident enough to handle scrutiny without letting it affect how she feels about herself or us. Most importantly, she'd find joy and meaning in the relationship itself, not in what it might bring in terms of lifestyle or status. Finding someone with all these qualities who's also available and interested feels almost impossible some days. But I've realized that settling for anything less, relationships based on convenience, attraction, or mutual benefit rather than true compatibility, would be lonelier than being alone. I'm also working on lowering my own defenses, knowing that to attract authentic connection, I must offer authenticity myself instead of keeping people at arm's length. I'm learning that finding the right person may require patience and faith, not the strategic, systematic approach that works in business. The woman I'm looking for might appear unexpectedly, in a place or time I never anticipate, when I'm not even searching. If you're someone who's achieved success but struggles to find real relationships because of the complications it brings, know this challenge is real but not unbeatable. The key is understanding that the qualities making someone right for you might also make them less likely to seek you out. Genuine connection often demands patience, vulnerability, and trust, not just strategy. Sometimes, the most important thing you can do is focus on becoming the person you want to be with, trusting that the right person will recognize and appreciate that when the time is right. The woman I'm looking for is worth waiting for, worth growing for, and worth believing in, even if it takes longer and requires more growth than I imagined. If this resonates, share it with someone who might understand the unique challenges success can bring to love. Subscribe if these conversations help you reflect on love, compatibility, and the search for genuine connection in a world that often values image over substance. Remember, the right person exists. Finding them may mean becoming the kind of person who deserves them and creating a life that attracts them for the right reasons. So, what would change in your approach to relationships if you focused more on becoming the person you want to be with, rather than just searching for someone who fits your current checklist?